Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game 2 in a series between AAA's Kara versus, I believe this is Kaelaris. Hopefully I am saying the name correctly. I don't know who these players are. I just happened to cast the game with Dystar and Kara last or yesterday, and then I liked Kara's play so much I wanted to see how he did against a Zerg. So Kaelaris spawning as the red Zerg this time at the 4 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have Kara spawning as the green Protoss here at the 7 or 8 o'clock position, and it looks like Kara will be once again going for a Forge fast expansion, a very common strategy for Protoss players in general, as they want to make sure that they are even on bases early on to put and apply a lot more pressure to a Zerg player. Now, this is the GSL version of the map. There are no destructible rocks here. There is no walkway here. Instead, there's a waterfall. Waterfall is the bane of every caster's existence. I'm not listening to the game sounds, but can you hear that? Can you hear that? I don't even know if you can hear that or not. Let me check real fast. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. All right, I did turn the sound effects down just a little bit, so hopefully it's not too bad, but perhaps I should turn up the game sounds a little bit more. I thought it didn't sound that loud. I know that it's actually been something that people have been requesting from me, so hopefully that does fix it a little bit. If it's too loud, let me know. If it's too quiet, let me know, and we'll get this game underway now. Drone now looking to do a quick scout, as we do see a forge being established on the front door. Most likely a forge will be established here, as the probe is looking to see what his opponent is going for. And there is a spawning pool. So the spawning pool will be placed down. I believe Kara is not going to be nearly as gutsy as say Naniwa, Naniwa, and go for a Nexus still. Instead, he should be going for a Photon Cannon instead. The drone is back over here dealing some damage, as we now see the Zerglings making their way already across the map. Are we going to get a Photon Cannon? Yes, a Photon Cannon inside the mineral line now, as we do see a lot of Zerglings making their way across the map. So we are going to have 17 Zerglings against 10 drones, and unbeknownst, you can see that those Zerglings are going to simply pass by this pylon, try to take it down, make sure that he supply blocks his opponent. And Kara now deciding to change things up, going more for a much more traditional build. Harvester count 18 to 11. The Zerglings just going to take down a forge and a pylon, but that's not going to really hurt Kara at all. There is one photon cannon here, another pylon and a simulator will be built. It looks like if another photon cannon could be added, perhaps right here, that would be enough to even protect the gateway, as the photon cannon may not be able to protect this location off over here. I don't believe so. Nope, the Zerglings are going to be in position to get some damage there, as the probes are now coming off the mineral line. They're going to come around and get some damage onto those Zerglings. The Zerglings are going to turn around. The probes need to be very, very careful. One probe does go down, as more probes, now a fresh batch of probes that haven't taken any damage, are now going to come in. So the photon cannon getting in some easy shots there. Another low hit point probe may be forced to retreat, as a zealot is going to be added to this group, and now even more probes coming off. So what is going to happen here? A cybernetics core now being added. It is now in the way, as a gateway is trying to train up some more some zealots and some units. It looks like the Zerglings will get taken down. A photon cannon could be added right here, and that would be the perfect location to protect yourself from all of these Zerglings. One zealot will be making its way out. The Zerglings, perhaps knowing that their time for harassment is up, deciding to finally back off. The second assimilator is down, as we now see the harvester count sitting at 21 to 18. Kara is in a bit of trouble, as Zerglings are now hiding off to the north. Zealot now trying to make his rounds out, as we are now going to be going into a very, very heavy drone production. 5 drones being trained at a time. You can see Kaelaris going to continue to just dump in a lot of minerals into drones, and now even adding a spine crawler for a little bit of protection. No, it doesn't seem to be the case, but a zealot will be spotted. You can now see a zealot going after the rest of these Zerglings here. There is now a gateway being built in the backside. Not quite sure why there isn't a Stargate, as a Stargate would be pretty effective alongside zealots. More gateways now coming in, as well as the Zerglings going after that one zealot there, but the photon cannon getting the additional last couple of kills. Drones now making their way over. The Zealot could easily take down these drones. Not quite sure why they were running away, as the Zealot now getting some easy damage here. We are getting a Zealot and a Stalker as well. The Zealot has to be careful, as Zerglings will be coming around the corner in just a moment. One drone may get taken down. No Spine Crawler being added instead, as the Zealot now getting corralled, but able to slip by ever so barely. The Zealot now apparently trying to run down the ramp. A Stalker now going to join in, and the Stalker with the Zealot, a much more formidable combination, as we now have triple Spine Crawlers on the front door. Queen now off the creep, as the Zealots have a very limited window of opportunity to get any true damage here. Zealots now going after Zerglings. One Zealot very low on hit points. A Stalker now being surrounded by Zerglings. Will it get taken down? It looks like it will be taken down, as the Stalker down to 6 hit points, and the Stalker just barely able to run away. Are we going to get a shot off? No. One Zergling for a Stalker. Not a good trade at all, as a new Stalker joins in on the fight. But we now have Spine Crawlers on this front door, which should be more than enough for these 3 gateway units. Kara now sitting at 29 probes versus 21 drones. Drones have now, drone production has been halted for a lot more Zerglings. You can see 12 more Zerglings being added, with already 20 Zerglings on the field. But without those Zerglings, that harassment would have dealt a lot more damage. Very, very nice play, as the Zealot and the Stalker now being forced to retreat. We do have a fair number of sentries as well, getting into a forge and a gateway, re-establishing this front door, and now getting a new nexus here. Zerglings now attempting to run across the map. It looks like they will be able to do exactly that, and the Zerglings now going after those Zealots. There's the force field trapping all of those gateway units on the wrong side. A photon cannon could be added as well, as we are now getting in a gateway, and now these Zerglings pretty much can't do anything, as they will just be butting up against the front door of Kara and then being pushed back every time, as we do have a very strong amount of defense here. Getting into double Stargate now by Kara, and this may be too little too late. I think we're going to see a lot more Queen production now come in. Double Stargate, perhaps a lot of Void Rays and Zealots. That is normally very, very effective, especially if you can use the Void Rays onto those Spine Crawlers. Spine Crawlers take a lot of damage from Void Rays, I believe close to 40 damage a second. So even with their high armor, perhaps a slightly less, but still a very, very large number, and then having Zealots on the ground to support. Void Rays now being added. You can see that we are getting into one gas here at the natural expansion. Second gas has yet to be established. Spoke too soon, as Kara now looking for the long term and trying to tech up. The Phoenix does fly around, catch a lot of Zerglings off over here, and the Phoenix is not really going to be able to do much of anything. A Void Ray going to try to add to itself, or add to the skies, but 3 Phoenixes, 1 Void Ray, not going to be enough to really deal any serious damage, as we now see a Spore Crawler being placed down. The Spore Crawler being placed down a little bit behind the brush over here. The Phoenix may try to come over, but it looks like it will get taken down, as a second Spore Crawler being added. The Overlord needs to fly back and now get over by the Spore Crawler. A Queen could easily transfuse it if it had enough energy. And now we are going into an additional Void Ray. Now down to 15 hit points, down to 6. It looks like the Overlord does get taken down. We are now supply block 76 over 76 compared to 76 over 78. Spore Crawler now fighting back and dealing a lot of damage to that Void Ray. The Void Ray being forced to pull away, as the Spore Crawlers are going to be the stopping point, as the Phoenixes can't really do anything about that. Phoenix now once again going to fly by, take down one of those units, and now even the Spine Crawlers have some Spore Crawlers to offer some protection. The Spore Crawler is just all over the place, making this Void Ray harassment pretty much moot at this point, as Kaelaris now may end up losing this hatchery over here. Spore Crawlers are being transferred over. This hatchery is taking a lot of damage. It looks like the Spore Crawler is going to take a lot of damage here. Is it going to get fully charged? Yes, it is going to have a fully charged Void Ray. The Void Ray looking to deal a lot of damage here, and the Spore Crawler will not be able to root in time. Will it be able to root in time? Down to 26-11. One does get taken down, but the new Spore Crawler in position. A new Spore Crawler now making its way over. It looks like this one. Oh, are we going to get some Graviton Beams? Yes. Queens now being picked up. A second Queen now being picked up, as the Void Ray taking a lot of damage. The Queen over here. Are we going to get another Graviton Beam? Yes. Multiple Graviton Beams causing problems, as these Queens are just always in a bad position, but one Void Ray taking a lot of damage and needs to back off if he's not careful. Carl may lose this Void Ray. down to 15 hit points, and the Queen getting picked back up once more, and the front door is now completely open. And now it looks like the Spine Crawlers may fall. Overlords are going to get taken out as well. More Spore Crawlers now being added, as well as the Void Ray now slowly recharging those shields. In comes a new Spore Crawler. 2 more Spore Crawlers coming in. 1 Spore Crawler will get taken down at the same time. No, canceled just in time as the Void Ray is going to get destroyed finally. A new Void Ray has joined in on the fight as Zerglings now coming around from the backside. So triple Spore Crawlers being added as the Spore Crawlers are just picking themselves up and moving to a better location time and time again, as the Void Rays are now going to be going after this Spore Crawler here. Graviton Beam, but the Spore Crawler off over here, dealing a bit too much damage. The Void Rays once again going to try to recharge this Spore Crawler. Looks like it will get taken down. Down goes another Spore Crawler here, as more Spore Crawlers are trying to be rerouted. And now the Void Ray going strictly after the hatchery. 1 Spore Crawler looks like it will get taken down. Another Spore Crawler looks like it can get taken down as well, as the lower hit point Void Ray trying to back off. 2 Void Rays, and now 1 Void Ray getting taken down once more. A 3rd Void Ray joining in on the fight. There it goes. 3 Void Rays in the air. The Void Ray down to 1 hit point. A dangerous, and a snipe there just as the Graviton Beam ends. More Spore Crawlers being made, as this has turned into a Spore Crawler versus a Void Ray battle. Will it be enough, as the layer has tech to tier 2, and now the Void Rays are forced to retreat. Oh, a crazy game so far, as Kaelaris really heavily investing in Spore Crawlers, and this is not something you see very regularly, as the Phoenixes are looking to perhaps absorb some of that damage. 1 Void Ray down to 17 hit points, and now in comes the Queen again. The Queen looks like it is going to get sniped down. No, that's still just being Graviton Beam. The Spore Crawler does not have enough time, and now in comes the... what was that? I'm not quite sure. I believe it was just taken down. 1 Void Ray still barely alive, as Spore Crawlers are now making their way over again. It looks like Spore Crawlers are just getting destroyed left and right, but the same thing with Void Rays, as it looks like 1 Void Ray does get taken down, trying to finish that Void Ray, or that Spore Crawler off, and it does happen. Production still shows double Void Rays. Protoss ground armor now being added, as the Void Ray going after the layer. The layer dangerously low on hit points, down to 169, and now the units are forced to back off once again, as the Phoenixes really can't do much of anything except for pick up a Zergling at the very most. Void Ray looks like it is going to try to get focused down. Is it going to be enough? 1 Void Ray already down to 39 6 hit points. There it goes. Fully charged once more, but is it going to be able to keep that charge? It doesn't look like it. Instead, going after the Extractor. The Extractor is going to start denying gas, as a Queen now making itself over, and the Queen now needs to get Graviton Beam. Now going to snipe down the base. It does get taken down, but at the cost of 2 Void Rays, and now in comes another set of Queens here. The drones now doing that long walk, as a new group of Void Rays back in this game. This Queen looks like it does get taken down, but in comes some Mutalisk. There's only 2 Phoenixes in this group now, as the Mutalisk are going after the Void Rays, and now the Phoenix is forced to back off, but the Phoenix could easily get some easy damage back onto those Mutalisk. The Mutalisk cannot attack and move at the same time, as the Void Rays do finally back off. Alright, so a crazy air battle here in this Protoss versus Zerg. Rather surprised that we never saw a cybernetics core get weapons or armor upgrades. If you're going to invest that heavily into air, might as well add to that. Kara now sitting on a very large army, harvester count much higher, but he's only mining from 1 mineral patch, essentially oversaturating this base here. Void Rays in trouble, as the Phoenixes are not going to be able to really provide that much of an escort. Another Void Ray, oh, 1 more shot, and it gets taken down. 3 Phoenixes in the air. Zerglings now coming around the far side. This Nexus will be destroyed, as the Stalkers now try to make their way in. It looks like the Mutalisks are going to engage, but the Phoenixes are there as well. There's the force field, nicely done. And as it's preventing many of the Zerglings from being able to engage at all, the Phoenixes getting in some easy shots once more. Harvester count 82 versus 43, but it is still 2 bases to 1 at this stage, as a hatchery is now being rebuilt more to try to keep these buildings alive than anything else. Stalkers now once again protecting themselves with some force fields. Sentry is doing a great job there. Mutalisk still battling it all, as the Stalkers trying to fight. Stalkers now blinking up onto the high ground. Mutalisk going after those Phoenixes as the Stalkers are finishing off some of those units, and a nice trade by Kaelaris. Kaelaris is still behind by about 30 food, but he is down by 40 Harvesters, so the armies should still be very, very even. More Mutalisks being added, more Phoenixes being added as well, and I really think if weapons upgrades were researched, those Phoenixes would be able to eat through those Mutalisks in a matter of seconds, and this game would be completely different. Stalkers now on the move, looking to perhaps do a little bit of pressure. There are a lot of spine crawlers, there's 4 spine crawlers on the front door. Mutalisks look to perhaps do a bit of harassment. The Stalkers do have blink, as one Overlord does get sniped down in just a moment, as now the Stalkers need to figure out where they want to attack. The spine crawlers are all now uprooted, and that may be a little bit of an issue, as the Stalkers and now units are backing off the Mutalisks, going after the Phoenixes. The Phoenixes need to go after those Mutalisks. Both sides engaging the Stalkers, now being forced to run away as the Zerglings getting in some easy shots. And Kara now only with a 13 food advantage. At one point, I believe he had around 60. And these spine crawlers with that range of 7 dealing so much damage. Overlord is going to spot the Stalkers coming along the backside here. Zerglings are ready. Zerglings are upgraded 1-1. Stalkers are upgraded 2-1. As the engagement now going to go down, Zerglings going to swarm and finish off many of these Stalkers. The Stalkers should be able to blink away, though. They're trying to blink strategically, minimize their surface area as more units come in. And Kara is forced to say GG, losing Game 2 in this series as well. Stay tuned for Game 3 in this series between Kara and Kaelaris.